And we are back with another day in the market. It's Friday. We're here in Wisconsin, so we got a brandy old-fashioned sour, and we are ready to talk about some trade callouts as well as some of the big guys. NVDA, Apple is a big one that we're going to get into later in this video. And just wanted to start with a call out that I did a couple days ago. If we go down to the daily, we called this trade out right here on the 28th, and today it is up 6.53% on the day. We're going to compare that how the rest of the market did to really show the power of this setup and the power of our entry. So if you would have done a 14-day to expire, you could have ended the day up 300% in one trading day, which is just huge. So keep that in mind if you're an options trader, a spreads trader. But hey, there's nothing wrong with 6.53% if you just want to go long on one day. That is pretty awesome. So we're gonna set this old fashioned aside for a second. I do want to talk about some of the negatives, right? Because we don't always just want to talk about one side of every trade. We are still below the market bias indicator on the weekly here. So that is something to be very cautious about. It is a little bit higher risk when you're trading on the daily, and the weekly is still under that, you know, if you were to go long, that is. So it's something to consider. But this, if you're just looking at this right here, it did look like it kind of broke trend. If we just bring up a trend line real quick, we can draw something pretty safely like that. And you can see how it broke the trend. And now you see a green market bias indicator. And you see that we are above the zero line on the MACD. Let's bring that up. You can see we crossed above the zero line right here. And these arrows, by the way, just represent a cross above and below the zero line. I just use it to really just help me see it clearly on the chart. Just something I made real quick, and I named it the MACD cross. So huge day. So how did it compare to the rest of the market? Well, let's bring up the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 was down 0.45%. So on a long trade out that, or a long trade that we called, it was up 6.53%. while the rest of the market is down. So we're going to continue to watch that, and we're going to see how that plays out. So let's get into some of the big guys. Apple today, and Apple, it was a doji for quite a while, and then it looks like it actually just went down 4.8%. That is huge. I do believe that this is sort of bringing a next leg down. And so this is a great opportunity, whether you want to go long or whether you want to go short, because if this goes down and touches the market bias indicator, or at least just shows any sort of down and then a reflection to the upside, or maybe a consolidation and up, that's a good indication to go long. I would absolutely love to see this MACD line, this blue line right here, cross below the zero line. And then if we're looking to go long, we just wait for it to come back up. If it crosses that zero line, we're going to watch it and we're going to see whether or not that trend continues. Ideally, you don't want to enter a short on a stock that is above the market bias indicator, especially something on Apple, which traditionally does very well. You don't often have below that market bias indicator for very long. So you would be trading against Apple's trend, very long-term trend, if you did that. So something to watch, something to just definitely put on your radar. Let's cover NVDA now, because NVDA is another huge stock that really was rallying along with Apple and a lot of the other tech stocks. We have the same divergence on the MACD and the RSI that we do on NVIDIA, that we do on Apple, but we were actually up 0.37% on the day. So if you actually look at your watch list, a lot of stocks were okay. They were either flat, barely under, or slightly green. There's a lot of indecision, and I think Apple really actually just brought that market down. So what we're looking for with NVIDIA is basically the same thing as Apple. We're waiting to either continue this to the upside, in which we could end up getting into a position, or we would like to see this come back down even and get in on a short below that market bias indicator. Now, as this price action consolidates or starts to trend down, you're going to continue to see this market bias indicator come up, and it's either going to meet or get closer to it at the very least. Okay, so keep that in mind. And by the way, it is a free indicator on TradingView. I absolutely love it. It helps me determine whether or not I should go long or go short. We can bring up Tesla, because Tesla is another big guy that everyone loves to trade. It was down 2.11% on the day. The price action is below the 25 period moving average. The blue 7 period simple moving average is still above the 25 period exponential moving average, but it looks like it is meeting. And if we just get rid of this price action really quick, there we go. It looks like TradingView kind of changed how we do that, but nonetheless, we figured it out. We are still above technically, but we're coming down. And now this setup here, how we have it, where every time the yellow line, no matter what these indicators are, whether it's the RSI, MACD, or the moving averages, if the yellow line is above the blue line, that is bearish. If the blue line is above the yellow line, that is bullish. So that's a very easy way to dissect this setup, right? Now, Tesla, if you notice, and we can zoom out a little bit, we have this trend line right here that Tesla broke. So if we are looking to go long, we're looking to see a bounce off of this trend line or this moving, this market bias indicator. And once you see that bounce, you can enter in a long position. If you're looking to go short, you want to see it cross below that market bias indicator, and you want to see it, the market bias indicator, turn red. And again, these are going to continue to meet as time goes on if this continues to go back down. Now, we did call out Alibaba as well. And Alibaba was at one time, let's just start with the weekly right here. So Alibaba, way below the market bias indicator. If we go back to the daily, yesterday, it was green right here. So this market bias indicator can repaint, and it's very important to just watch that. It'll often, if it's repainting, it will often kind of tell that you're still going to move in that direction. But it had a red day, so that's why it did repaint, and something very important to just watch. So as far as a long position, if we bring up the MACD, we are meeting the MACD and the signal line are just meeting, still technically above the zero line, which shows overall bullish trend, and it is trending up along with the price action. And we had the RSI act as support for quite a while. Looks like we did get a little bit of a rejection right here, which is partly reason why that market bias indicator might have changed and went back down to red. Okay, so we are going to be watching Alibaba. We're going to see if it is going to hold above that market bias indicator, because if it does, that indicator will turn green. So it's very, very important to watch. What else do we got? Let's do one more. Let's do Microsoft. Microsoft is very similar to another tech stock, Meta, as far as the technicals and how similar they were. And you can see now, while it was up 0.34%, we have a cross right here of the yellow line over the blue line. We have it on the moving averages. We have it on the MACD. We have it on the RSI. And this is a Trendillo indicator. I don't know too much about it. I just threw it on there. and I want to do a little bit more research on it, but it does seem like it kind of gives you a little bit of some extra indication of whether or not the trend is going to continue or not. So to be determined on whether I keep that up or not. Just kind of like to look at it for now. But we are bearish on Microsoft, and let's just go down to the 4-hour on Microsoft and let's see what we're doing. We still have a green market bias indicator right here on the 4-hour, but we are below the 0 line on the MACD, and looks like the RSI is kind of consolidating below that 0 line. So that's really all I got for you today, a short one. I'm sure a lot of you are out also enjoying your brandy old-fashioned sours, like me. Probably not, because not everyone is from Wisconsin and drinks brandy, but nonetheless, I hope all of you have a safe trading. I'm just some guy on YouTube giving my opinion, just like every other stock channel out there, but we are doing some pretty awesome call outs right now, and we're just going to bring BRFS back up to just kind of remind you 6.53% on a long call out on a day that the market has turned down. Now, once again, be cautious with this guy, because on the weekly, it is still under that moving or that market bias indicator, and you want to at least see it on the weekly if you're playing the daily. Even better if it's on the monthly. usestockmonitor.com, I believe, is what I use. There's many different screeners out there, and I really find it really useful when it comes to finding trades. So have a great weekend. I appreciate all the likes, the subscriptions. I really want to get to 400 subscribers. Turn that notification bell on so you can see all of my call outs the day it happens. If you had a notification on when I called this BRFS out, you could have definitely taken advantage of that 300%, at the very least the 6.53%. So thank you. Have a great weekend. Until I see you next time, have a good one. Thanks.